Okay, so it seems like things just keep on getting worse for Sakura Miko at the moment as she continues to be targeted by a lot of antis. Now this, again, has been a huge issue for her over the past couple of weeks or so over multiple different reasons, as we've gone through a couple of times in previous videos, right? And it seems like recently there's been a big thing over on Twitter, which is essentially blown up to do with one stream that she had planned with another person called Sora, which of course, they were planning on collaborating together and doing a stream, which they announced here, saying starting at 9 p.m. from now, teach me Sora Sensei's math classroom. So yeah, it seems like they were going to be doing some math or something together, which again is great to see. But of course, this stream ended up getting postponed due to Sakura Miko feeling unwell. Now, Sakura Miko obviously is fully entitled to feeling unwell, right? She can, it happens to all of us, right? Sometimes you have something big planned or you have something with someone else planned and all of a sudden you're ill and it sucks. And of course, it just happens, right? And of course, lots of people have tried to turn this into some big drama thing, which I think is absolutely unnecessary. And it's gotten to the point now where some people are being, completely rude and completely toxic about this entire kind of situation, which I think is just, completely wrong, right? And I think that obviously Sakura Miko deserves to have that time off and deserves to at least, have a little bit of a postponement. They're saying regarding the stream, we've decided to reschedule the stream, today's stream, since Miko is feeling unwell. I'll let you know about the new date soon. Sorry about this. So they are still going to be doing the stream, right? They're still going to be doing it later on at another time, just not the day that it was scheduled for, which is a shame. But as I said, you can't change anything about someone being ill, right? It is just what it is, right? But many people have been going after her over like the timeline of things as well. And there's been many people like this saying, sorry, Mikuchi, but this is seriously unacceptable. Can't you even contact your collab partner? Didn't Sora-chan say something like she hates people who are late? Contacting at the same time as the listeners after this time has passed is way too late. Even a student's part-time job wouldn't pull this kind of stunt. Feeling under the weather is unavoidable, but this is unacceptable as a person. So a lot of people have been going after her over her timeliness and I guess the point that she didn't really reach out to Sora. But again, at the same time, sometimes you just kind of forget, right? And of course, whenever it comes to being ill, you have a lot of other important things on your mind than, obviously the stream that you had scheduled. Now, of course, there probably should have been something done a little bit more, but I feel like the amount of backlash that she's been getting is a little bit much, right? And obviously they've been continuing to post, and a lot of people have been saying, I'm listening to the Holosummer 2023 youth archive right now, for real, that was the most fun time ever, where did it go wrong, right? So they're fully crashing out about this kind of stuff. Now obviously there's been a lot of other comments saying, yeah, ever since Sakura Miko controversy, things have kind of fell off ever since, right? Which again, a lot of people have been either, saying, first of all, at the point you're making this post, you should already be able to contact Sora-san, right? Since you're the one who was with her at the time. Obviously a lot of other people saying things like able to post on X, even though you're so sick you can't even contact anyone, yet you don't reach out on Discord even though it is there, and you don't even ask your manager for help. That means it's intentional, right? Which obviously it seems like a lot of people have been going after her. Now I believe that a lot of people are saying that these are just hololive antis that are essentially trying to stir up drama over nothing, because it really isn't that big of a deal. Like, let's be honest, of course it sucks whenever someone doesn't reply in like a timely fashion or whatever, and of course there's been like some people as well saying, don't you have manners, common sense, or even the ability to think? You never start a scheduled streaming time anyways, bye bye. And obviously, yeah, they've put like her merch in the trash, which I think is absolutely crazy. And it's insane that there are some people out here who feel this strongly about a streamer, to the point where they're chucking their stuff in the bin just because she's ill, and obviously forgot to mention things in terms of kind of rescheduling a stream a little bit earlier on. Now, of course, we have a timeline here from someone that has come out with this kind of stuff, because of course they're saying, this is one from a Mikuchi sub here. They're saying, yesterday right before stream I ended up in a state where I couldn't move due to vomiting and anemia, so I'll let you know, and stayed on the call with me for 30 minutes. watching over me together, but I didn't get much better, and Sora-chan saw that and was worried about my condition, so this time we decided to reschedule. I'm really sorry to Sora-tomo-san too, even though you were waiting for me. The rescheduled date will probably be around next week, so look forward to it then. Obviously, yeah, that is Miko, obviously on a different account there, talking about it and saying, it was right before stream that she ended up not being able to move and all of this other kind of stuff, which is absolutely terrible because sometimes it can hit you pretty hard, right? And it can be so sudden, right? To the point where you can't really, predict it. You can't really I guess, sometimes you fall ill so quickly that it's not like I can just tell them 3 hours before stream or something, like say, hey, I'm not feeling too good, maybe I'm not going to do it today. It could happen like 30 minutes before, right? It seems quite sudden, and obviously that's what a lot of people aren't really considering. And of course, it's got 17 million views, by the way, which is insane. And you got people like talking to Sora here, saying, I'm a little relieved that you reached out when you weren't feeling up to it, when you were feeling up to it, hoping you get better soon. And of course, they're just chatting here, saying like, sorry for dragging it out to the very last minute. Keeping us all connected on standby during the call really warmed my heart. Thank you so much. I'll do some prep in advance. And of course, Sora says, no, I think it was a good that we rescheduled right away. Of course, I'll study up on it too. So, Sora isn't even mad here. It seems like she's very understanding of what has went on. And I'm sure that, at the other kind of end of things, if Miko was the one that was planning things and Sora felt ill, I think she would also understand as well. It's not one of these things where both the talents are mad at each other or anything. They are both pretty happy with the, how it turned out and the rescheduling, because of course it was so sudden, and it seems like they've been in a lot of contact. And this person then puts out a timeline saying, here's a timeline because the anti-fan harassment is getting way too intense. They say before 9 o'clock, which is when the stream actually is supposed to start. They say the Sakura Miko falls ill, so she falls ill before the stream, right, just before. And obviously Sora is unable to reach Miko, gets worried and comes to the chat. And obviously, yeah, you can see around 9:11, they say Sora manages to get in touch with Miko, and the stream time is then changed, so they put it back about half an hour. 20 minutes from that time, so they delay it a little bit. And then obviously, they talk together, behind the scenes with Sakura Miko to check on their condition, and continues fan service towards the waiting listeners on the main stream. So essentially, she is, talking with Sakura Miko behind the scenes, being like, are you okay? Like, do you still want to do this? And then obviously she's on stream and trying to entertain the fans while they're waiting. And of course, in their minds, I think they were like, okay, yeah, it's going to happen just a little bit later on. But of course, then, it continues to about 9:30. They say they decide to cancel the stream via phone call, and Sakura Miko notifies the listeners of the postponement in her chat just shortly after. And obviously Sora gives a postponement greeting to listeners in the stream chat, and then obviously Sakura Miko posts about the stream postponement on X. So the above sequence of events can be confirmed from X posts and YouTube chat history. So as far for what the haters are saying, they're saying claims that Mikochi faked being unwell to cover up for oversleeping. She informed her own listeners about the postponement/cancellation before Sora. Obviously a fake news. So a lot of people apparently are trying to claim that Miko overslept, and she was just saying that she was ill. And a lot of people have been saying that she's not actually ill, which again I just don't think is the case. I feel like you got to trust them here in terms of this kind of stuff. And they're saying, obviously fake news. They said, I mean, in Hololive's culture where oversleeping is treated like a festival, any Hololive fan would know they wouldn't just cancel a stream over just 11 minutes late, right? And yeah, obviously it seems like, Sakura Miko was 100% awake, during, after 9 o'clock, well, yeah, so 9:11 they put there, she was up and managed to, contact Sora, or Sora managed to contact her, sorry. So she was up around about that time of the stream. And if you oversleep, right, if you oversleep on a stream, you would just kind of just get up and do it, right? You would get up and then just, be like, oh, sorry, I'm like 11 minutes late. And you continue streaming, right? But that is not the case. Obviously, they waited a little bit more, and then they decided, actually, let's just reschedule this. And obviously, that is due to the fact of her being ill. Like, I think that is like the 100%, fact of it. I don't think anybody needs to speculate, oh, it was just oversleeping, because if it was just oversleeping, they would have just carried on with the stream just a little bit later on, right? But it clearly isn't, because there's no reason to cancel a stream apart from the fact that she is literally unable to due to being ill. So again, a lot of people like creating these theories about like oversleeping or whatever. it all seems false, right? And especially with the timeline kind of being laid out there. And as I said, there is no problem between the VTubers at all. You know, they are completely fine. They're completely happy with rescheduling it for next week. And sure, you know, I'm sure that will go fine whenever it does come out. But of course, some people want to spread drama. A lot of the antis want to continue to spread some kind of narrative about Miko, which is absolutely horrible to see because she's been targeted quite a bit over the past couple of months and so for other things as well. And obviously, yeah, you got people like this chucking stuff in the trash. And I'm sure there's a lot of genuine Miko fans as well that are seeing a lot of this stuff that, you know, maybe believe some of the antis and some of the misinformation that they've been spreading. So they are actually genuinely like dropping and leaving her. But again, I don't think, you know, that should be the case at all. I think, you know, people should do their kind of research whenever it comes to this information, because of course, it seems like what it was Sakura Miko was ill, suddenly got ill, and obviously, you know, she explained it to Sora, and they had a little bit of a talk, and then they said, okay, let's just reschedule the stream. That is it, right? Obviously, all the kind of, I guess, theories and stuff people coming up with of, oh, you know, she overslept and she's just being lazy and whatever. That's not the case, right? That was 100% not the case, because, of course, you wouldn't cancel a stream over oversleeping because she was literally up around about the same time. Sure, a little bit late, but of course, you know, she was still awake. I think that's still like the main point here, right? So again, I don't think that is the case at all. And it just kind of goes to show how much misinformation can spread, especially within the kind of Japanese community of, you know, hololive at the moment, because of course there has been a lot of misinformation kind of directed towards Sakura and also some other members of hololive at the moment, which is terrible. And I know that Cover are, you know, going after these people, which is good, because of course these people ruin it for a lot of people that are, you know, genuine fans, because as I said, some genuine fans do believe the misinformation. And, you know, for example, you got like this person here, right, who obviously claims to be a fan, right? I don't think they are a fan. You know, you can't really be that big of a fan if you're just chucking all of this stuff in the bin just because she cancelled a stream one time. Like, let's be real. You know, you're really not that big of a fan if you're doing that. And of course, a lot of people have been commenting on this, saying JP Miko fan having a normal one because Miko was feeling bad and had to reschedule her collab stream. You know, fans throwing merch to trash this in the trash as a protest is so funny. Bro, congrats, you wasted all that money and the talent already got our royalties, Lamau loser. And again, a lot of the Japanese comments to this have been like, hey, you know, if you don't like it, that's fine. But, you know, why did you have to go and, like, you know, call them out on this and, like, you know, put this tag here? I'm pretty sure this is a Miko tag. So of course, right, you know, why did you feel the need to go and do this and post a public post on Twitter? Because it obviously seems like their attention, you know, farming. They want attention. They want to spread this kind of narrative about Sakura instead of just being like any normal fan. Like, seriously, if you were like genuinely upset about like a rescheduled stream or whatever, first of all, it's a bit weird, right? I don't see why you would be. But, you know, let's just say you were, you know, then sure, you know, you can go ahead and stop watching her and maybe don't, you know, that's fine, right? You don't have to watch a streamer. But, you know, obviously it seems very performative, the way that they're putting all the merch in the bin, taking a picture and be like, I'm done, guys. Like, dude, you're like some random account, like nobody cares. And it just seems very performative and very, you know, just trying to get attention to this, which I think is crazy. Obviously, I made a post saying there's no way these people exist. Again, so many people saying, you put it in the trash, click bye-bye, tweet, whoa, 5,000 likes, too insane. Which obviously, yeah, a lot of people have been commenting about that, saying, from an old man's perspective, at least, at the very least, sell it off, turn it into some cash. Which, yeah, obviously, you know, some people say, why don't you just sell it? Right, you know, rather than throw it in the bin. And of course, I think it is genuinely because, you know, if you look in the bin, there's like, what, there's a tissue in there. But, I mean, a lot of this other stuff is all just merch. So my kind of idea is that they just put that tissue in there to make it look a little bit like worse. So like they've gotten rid of it. I'm probably like they're probably digging it out of the trash right now, right? Like I'm gonna be honest. You know, I don't know how performative they want to be, but it's crazy the lengths that some people will go to kind of bash these streamers, right? And of course, I feel sorry for Sakura because, you know, she didn't do anything wrong. She, you know, was obviously not feeling great, and that was literally it, right? She wasn't feeling great. And apparently some people had a problem with that, and obviously the antis have started to kind of spread this narrative, which is completely false. And yeah, I mean, it's just getting a little bit out of hand at this point. which I just think is crazy, right? But yeah, that's essentially all there is for this situation. I just kind of wanted to cover it as I'd seen this popping up in my timeline quite a bit, and it's pretty horrible to see. So yeah, hopefully things get better for Miko, and hopefully this stream can go ahead next week whenever they reschedule it. But yeah, I mean, that's about all I got for this video. If you guys did enjoy it, don't forget to leave a like and subscribe. Also, go to GameSubs, use my code Kaza, get 10% off. Again, they've got a ton of really cool stuff over there. Definitely recommend checking it out. And yeah, I'll see you guys in the next one. That's all. See ya.